introduction to Salesforce.com Medical. In the next few minutes, we're going to learn how you can leverage the cloud to achieve real success for your medical device or medical products company. Let's take a quick moment and talk about some of the challenges facing medical device companies. Number one, the sales process is complex. That means that it's difficult to manage the dynamic relationships involved in ultimately reaching a positive decision. This is limited by the ongoing access issues that a lot of organizations have to not being able to spend the appropriate amount of time with physicians and or decision makers. And so being able to leverage CRM to help you do that becomes very important. There's also a limited amount of sales and lead qualification staff. We're being asked to do more work with less people, and that places more burden on our field sales as well as our internal sales staff if we have internal sales. And finally, increasing international competition continues to drive price pressure and continues to drive lower margins in our businesses. So Salesforce.com Medical was designed to address these issues. First of all, it's designed on a highly customized version of Salesforce.com, and it's been geared around the issues that organizations that are selling medical devices and medical products are dealing with. This includes simplifying the sales process and providing tools that enable field sales reps and sales managers the ability to manage complex relationships. This is also includes automating the sales and lead generation part of the sales cycle. So how do we improve the way that sales are being managed, as well as how do we improve the way that leads are being generated and qualified? This includes simple dashboards for better sales insights, so people in the field are making better decisions with better information, which also includes improving the way that territories are managed and or routed. And the most important part of this is that it's offered at a very competitive per-user price based on the Salesforce.com subscription model. That said, let's talk a little bit about the kinds of things that dashboards capture for us. Number one, dashboards will help your field sales organization and your internal sales, as well as your sales management real-time sales pipeline. Secondly, it involves integrating sales history from other systems and presenting that sales history inside the Salesforce.com environment so that salespeople have better visibility into what's happening with their accounts. This may include things like actual versus potential trending, as well as declining accounts, as well as growing accounts, among many other things that you can design dashboards around providing your Salesforce.com medical users. The other part of this is territory mapping. So in addition to using the data that I mentioned earlier in dashboards, you can map territories and map accounts within those territories, which means that you can create specific sales routes for those types of organizations that have to spend appropriate amounts of time in the territory. You can actually create very efficient routes in terms of how you manage your drive time. This may also include proximity mapping for both customers and prospects. So you can actually map and or pull up accounts that are close to an account that you may be visiting. And so that ability gives you the efficiency of making sure that you're spending the right time with accounts, as well as geocoding this with integrated sales data so that you can pull information in from other systems. Finally, the ability to integrate with those other systems is another key part of the Salesforce.com medical tool. That includes integrating with actual billing data, showing critical trends by account and territory, and using that data to provide real-time interpretation, meaning giving your sales users the ability to understand whether a trend is negative or positive, meaning red, bad, green, good kind of thing. So again, instead of having to spend time interpreting results, they can spend time using that interpretation to make appropriate sales calls. Finally, we bring all that together in a mobile application, so the ability to access the information I've described in the field on an iPhone or on a BlackBerry or on a laptop is very, very powerful. Salesforce provides flexibility to use any device, as well as the ability to access critical customer sales data as well as critical territory trend data. Again, all available from you in the field from these remote devices. So let's take a minute and talk about the cloud model. Salesforce.com is really one of the innovative companies in the whole idea of cloud computing. And cloud computing, put simply, is the idea of accessing valuable applications via a web browser. So in this example, Salesforce.com is really based on this idea of what we call multi-tenancy, which means thousands of companies are using the same platform to receive and generate results for their businesses. This provides automatic upgrades, a pay-as-you-go subscription model, which is very elastic, which ultimately means there's very little to no capital expense, modest operating expenses, and it scales with your business. So the Sales Cloud, which is what Salesforce.com Medical is built on, provides this idea of account versus contact management, lead campaign management, opportunity management, forecasting, and several other major benefits that you see in this slide. So the idea of the Salesforce.com application is that we can take the tool and enhance it for things like Salesforce.com Medical and make that tool very, very valuable. Now, one of the big ideas behind Salesforce is the real benefit that other companies that are using Salesforce receive. And in this slide, we're showing some research statistics from a 6,000 plus customer survey that was done by an independent third-party company that shows the real results that companies are receiving with Salesforce.com. So I'd like you just to imagine for a moment that if you won 20% more of your deals, or you were able to increase your deal size by 21%, or increase your conversion of your leads by 27%, what impact would that have on your revenue and some of those issues that we described at the beginning of the presentation? That said, Salesforce is a very successful company as it relates to the number of customers that use their product. With over 70,000 paying customers and roughly 3.5 million users, the tool is being used by more and more companies and is being enhanced at such a rapid pace that the tremendous benefits are coming out of this idea. This is reflected in their annual sales volume, which has recently exceeded $1 billion in revenue, and just continues to demonstrate the reliability and the growth and the stability of this company and why it's so valuable in building applications on. So I'd like to thank you for taking a few minutes to watch this introduction. We'd like to invite you to learn more about Salesforce.com solutions for the medical device industry. You can learn more at www.ismsystems.com/meddevice. Feel free to reach us at our email address at sales@ismsystems.com or contact us directly at our 877 number. But I'd like to invite all of you at this point to click now on the link that you see here on this page for a free 30-day trial, and you can begin to learn and experience the benefits of Salesforce.com Medical immediately. Thank you.